Hey guys. Good day, let's talk about Ghostrick. Ghostrick represent Halloween. They are so cute even for a ghost theme archetype. They have an annoying gameplay that flip monsters repeatedly and protecting themselves as long as they are face down. They like to troll you so much. They can control the board and poke you until die. Most of the Ghostrick monsters aren't strong by themselves, they rely heavily to their field spells. As like all Ghostrick non-extra deck monsters, has the following effect in common. Cannot be normal summoned unless you control a Ghostrick monster. Once per turn. You can change this card to face down defense position. There are two types on how you play Ghostrick. Number 1. Control build. Number 2. Mill build. Alright, for the lists of card numbers. Let's start with the monsters. First, Jack-o'-lantern. When an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, or when a Ghostrick monster you control is targeted for an attack, you can negate the attack, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand in face-down defense position. Lantern protects Ghostrick monsters from attacks or even in a direct hit, and can be used for level 1 exceed. I think he is the best attack blocker in our deck. Play 3 of this. Jack Frost. When an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can change that opponent's monster to face-down defense position, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand in face-down defense position. This is also our protection from attacks, but only for direct attack and making opponents set. If I compare to Lantern, they are both good in different ways. So play 3. Bloody Mary. When you take damage, you can discard this card, special summon one Ghostrick monster from your deck in face-down defense position. The ability to special summon any Ghostrick to face down when you take damage is a very useful. It swarm our field and protect us at the same time. A very important monster to have. Must play it at 3. Ghostrick Specter. When a Ghostrick monster is destroyed by an opponent's card effect or by battle with their attacking monster and sent to your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand in face-down defense position, and if you do, draw 1 card. This is my most favorite artwork in the archetype and useful as well. It makes our field have more monster presence when a Ghostrick monster is destroyed, plus the additional draw. Run 2 or 3. Ghostrick Witch. Once per turn. You can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, change it to face-down defense position. Setting one opponent monster is a fair effect. But it's up to you. Run 0 or 1. Ghostrick Yukiana. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can change the monster that destroyed it to face-down defense position, and if you do, it cannot change its battle position. Her effect is useful if we are playing in the old era. But today, her effect is kind of weak. Run 0. Ghostrick Nico Musumi. When a level 4 or higher monsters is normal or special summoned, change that monsters to face-down defense position. There must be another Ghostrick monster on the field to activate and to resolve this effect. She can give a potential lock, but it requires another Ghostrick to do that and buys more time. Run 0 or 1. Ghostrick Doll. When this card is flipped face-up, during the end phase, change as many face-up monsters on the field as possible to face-down defense position. Then you can special summon one Ghostrick monster from your deck in face-down defense position, whose level is less than or equal to the number of monsters flipped face-down by this effect. Her effect is so strong by putting all monster on the field face-down at the end phase, plus the special summon effect. Play 2 to 3. Ghostrick Jiangshi. When this card is flipped face-up, you can add from your deck to your hand one Ghostrick monster whose level is less than or equal to the number of Ghostrick monsters you control. This card is our main searcher, and we can use it every turn by flipping this face up and face down. A staple 3 in every deck. Ghostrick STEIN. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can add one Ghostrick spell trap card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Ghostrick STEIN once per turn. A spell and trap searcher if you inflict damage to opponent. I love him personally. I think he is a good one-off. But it's up to you. Play 0 or 1. Ghostrick Ghoul. Once per turn, during your main phase 1. You can target one Ghostrick monster you control. Its attack becomes equal to the combined original attack of all Ghostrick monsters currently on the field until the end of your opponent's next turn, but if it does, only that monster can attack this turn. Ghoul is your main beater. It's like United We Stand by combining all attack of all Ghostrick on the field. It looks good in card text, but Ghostrick want is to troll our opponent, so giving attack boost is not really necessary in our deck. Run 0. Ghostrick Skeleton. When this card is flipped face up, banish cards from the top of your opponent's deck face down, up to the number of Ghostrick monsters you control. Since we have two kinds of gameplay for Ghostrick, this card must be on our deck if you are playing with mill Ghostrick. But I think if we play it in the controlled build, the mill effect is not necessary to play. Run 0 or 3. Ghostrick Mommy. While this card is face up on the field, you can normal summon one Ghostrick monster in addition to your normal summon set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. You cannot special summon any monsters except dark monsters. It is a rank 3 maker. But I think that's not necessary to do. We need more control than that. Run 0. Ghostrick YETI. Once per turn, you can change this card to face down defense position. When this card is flipped face up, you can target one Ghostrick monster on the field. This turn, it cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects. Protection for one Ghostrick? This is a useless card, don't run it. Ghostrick Werewolf. Once per turn, you can change this card to face down defense position. When this card is flipped face up, inflict 100 damage to your opponent for each set card on the field. You can only use this effect of Ghostrick Werewolf once per turn. I see some play Werewolf and focusing on burning opponent and win. But overall this card is like YETI. It is not necessary on our game. Don't run it. For the non-theme based support, Bio. When this card is normal summoned or flipped face up, you can target one level 1 monster in your graveyard, special summon that target, but banish it when this card leaves the field. The only purpose we have this tech card is because of its ability to quickly give us instant rank 1 by special summoning one level 1 monster in the graveyard. It is an instant Dualihan for us. Run 0 to 2. Tour Guide from the Underworld. When this card is normal summoned, you can special summon one level 3 fiend type monster from your hand or deck. Its effects are negated, and it cannot be used as a synchro material monster. Like Bio, it is also an Exceed tech card. Easy summon for Alucard. Run 0 or 1. SANGAN. This card is sent from the field to the graveyard. Add one monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck to your hand, but you cannot activate cards or the effects of cards with that name for the rest of this turn. It is a tour guide target or crush card virus target. Slow but still a great tech card. Run 0 or 1. Cardger D. During your main phase 1, if this card was normal summoned this turn, you contribute this card, draw 2 cards, then it becomes the end phase of this turn. You cannot special summon during the turn you activate this effect. It's a very great draw engine card that allows us to draw 2 cards. Don't worry, we have a lot of hand trap protection in the deck like Mary, Ol Lantern, and Jack Frost. Run 0 to 3. VANITY'S Fiend. Neither player can special summon monsters. To extend your control play, try adding VANITY'S Fiend so that your opponent can't do anything. Run 0 or 2. Crane. When this card is normal summoned, you can target one level 3 monster in your graveyard, special summon that target, but it has its effects negated. Again a quick rank 3 access. Play 0 to 2. Alright for the spells. Ghostrick Mansion. Monsters cannot attack face down defense position monsters, but can attack directly if all monsters their opponent controls are face down defense position. All effect damage and battle damage inflicted by monsters other than Ghostrick monsters is halved. This card is our defensive and offensive strategy in the deck. To make our Ghostrick poke directly and making our opponent damage by half. Run 2 to 3. Ghostrick Museum. Monsters you control, except Ghostrick monsters, cannot attack. Monsters cannot attack face-down defense position monsters, but can attack directly if all monsters their opponent controls are face-down defense position. At the end of the damage step, change any monster that inflicted battle damage to a player during this battle to face-down defense position. Museum is a weaker version of Mansion. I think Mansion is enough. Don't run this. Ghostrick Parade. Monsters cannot attack face-down defense position monsters, but can attack directly if all monsters their opponent controls are face-down defense position. Your opponent takes no damage. When an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can add one Ghostrick card from your deck to your hand. This card is a trick card that makes your opponent think before attacking directly. The adding effect is not once per turn. Run 1 to 3. For the non-theme based support, Allure of Darkness. Since all of Ghostrick monsters are dark, Allure help us to dig more. Run 0 to 2. Pot of Duality. We don't special summon a lot in our turn. So Pot of Duality is still a tech card for consistency for us. Run 0 to 2. Swords of Concealing Light. When this card resolves, change all monsters your opponent controls to face down defense position. Monsters your opponent controls cannot change their battle positions. Destroy this card during your second standby phase after activation. Swords of Concealing Light is the dark hole of Ghostrick. It gives us an opportunity to lock them and poke them directly. Book of Moon. We want opponent monsters face down daily as possible. Book of Moon is another floodgate trap hole. It is a staple one in the deck. Soul Charger Monster Reborn. A monster revival is always a great choice. Soul Charge for a large recovery provider with a large cost, and Monster Reborn is a free revival. Instant Fusion Engine. This engine allows us to clear an opponent's monster for free while making a rank 1 XYZ or link it to Linkurabo, potentially without even using a normal summon. Run 1 to 2. Terraforming. We rely so much on field spell. It is a staple one-off. Wonder Wand. We have 5 monsters to equip in here. I mention this card because it is another draw card to add. That's up to you. Run 0 to 2. Ghostrick Vanish. By revealing one Ghostrick monster to our hand, it gives protection to all Ghostrick cards. Even face down defense position monster you control is included to the protection. It is worth to run Atlas 1. So I recommend playing 1 to 2. Ghostrick Scare. Target any number of face-down defense position monsters you control, change them to face-up defense position, count the number of Ghostrick monsters among them, and if you do, change up to that many face-up monsters your opponent controls to face-down defense position. The best disruption trap in the deck, and triggering your Ghostrick effect by flipping them is a very great plus. No doubt. Run 3. Ghostrick Go Round. Choose one of this effect once per turn. Target one Ghostrick monster you control, change that target to face-down defense position, and if you do, change one face-down defense position monster your opponent controls to face-up attack position. Or target one face-down defense position monster you control, change that target to face-up attack position, and if it is a Ghostrick monster, change one face-up monster your opponent controls to face-down defense position. If you have multiple go-round, you can use each go-round once per turn. Also, this card can be activated at any point during the battle phase, not just when an attack is declared. This means that if your opponent goes into their battle phase at all, you can activate Go Round, even if they decide to exit the battle phase without attacking. A very versatile trap to have. It's either used for offensive play or defense. Run 1 or 2. Ghostrick Knight. While a Ghostrick monster is on the field, your opponent cannot flip summon. When this card in your possession is destroyed by your opponent's card and sent to the graveyard, your opponent cannot declare attacks for the rest of this turn. This card is amazing to the point that you can lock down your opponent totally if you control a face-up Ghostrick monster. This card is so devastating if your opponent has a lot of set monsters on their field. I think it is a staple one. Ghostrick Break. When exactly one face-up Ghostrick monster you control, and no other cards, is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect and sent to your graveyard, target 2 Ghostrick monsters in your graveyard with different names from the destroyed monster, special summon them in face-down defense position. This is our monster reborn in the deck. Play Atlas 1. Ghostrick Renovation. We can activate Ghostrick field spell from our deck and return the existing one to hand. We can also banish this card from the grave to target one Ghostrick Exceed monster you control, special summon one Ghostrick Exceed monster from your extra deck with a different name by using that target as material. It allows us to swap out Mansion and Parade, and we can activate this during the battle phase. Play 0 to 2. For the non-themed base trap support. Quaking Mirror Force. This is the mirror force of Ghostrick. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, change all your opponent's attack position monsters to face-down defense position. Monsters changed to face-down defense position by this effect cannot change their battle positions. A staple card in the deck. Run 2 to 3. Floodgate Trap Hole. When your opponent summons a monsters, change that monsters to face-down defense position. Monsters changed to face-down defense position by this effect cannot change their battle positions. Another staple card in the deck. The ability to permanently set a monster when they summon is very essential. Run 2 to 3. Crush Card Virus, Deck Devastation Virus, and Full Force Virus. Of course, we have these 3 viruses to disrupt opponent. Crush Card Virus for 1000 and below dark monsters, Deck Devastation and Full Force Virus for Angel of Mischief target. Ghostrick support to be cited. Metaverse. Since it is a terraforming trap, we can use it during the battle phase and activate field spell directly from the deck. Run 0 or 1. Dark Horizon. When you take battler effect damage, special summon one dark spellcaster type monster from your deck with attack less than or equal to the damage you took. If we take damage, this card helps to give more field presence and special summon either doll or witch. For the extra deck, Ghostrick Angel of Mischief. You can overlay this card on any Ghostrick Exceed monster except Mischief. If you detach Alucard or Dullahan, you will not only get one card, but two. Add one Ghostrick spell and trap from Mischief, and add one Ghostrick card from Grave for Alucard and Dullahan. The 2500 defense is also a wall for us. But I think the win condition is useless actually because you need 10 Exceed materials. Overall a very great card. Run 3. Ghostrick Alucard. He can destroy any set card, even a monster. He prevents your opponent from attacking your other monsters. And like all Exceed monsters of Ghostrick, you can get back one Ghostrick card from your grave when this card is sent to the graveyard. Run 2 to 3. Ghostrick Succubus. I don't feel this card to be useful as it is. But I think playing this at 1 to summon Mischief is still a move. Run 1. Ghostrick Dullahan. We have a lot of level 1 monsters in the deck, so making Dullahan is the most easiest to summon among all our Exceed monsters, plus it floats when it is sent to the grave. His attack reduction can activate during either player's turn. Run 3. Lyrilisk Assembled Nightingale. The ability to attack directly as many times as your materials and prevent you from taking damage. Sometimes it can make you win. Run 1. The Phantom Knights of Break Sword. A rank 3 popper like Scrap Dragon. Since Alucard only destroys set card, this Phantom Knights can pop a card, not just face down cards. So run 1. Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Cerberus, Nightmare Unicorn. The removal staples is always the best option to make specially to those problematic cards. Borreload Dragon, Borrelgard Dragon, Borrelsword Dragon. If you need something powerful or if you want to push it more, then pick Atlas, one of them. Linkuriboh. This monster is easy to link summon. By using one level 1 monster and you have an instant defense. Take note that you can revive Linkuriboh again and again, since we have a lot of level 1 monsters in our deck. Run 1. For the conclusion. Ghostrick dies when Link format arrived. They can't do anything against monsters that can't be flipped face down. So many players quit playing this archetype. Ghostrick are just a troll in the game. They are heavily rely on their field spell and some back row to work. Yes, the game is kind of slow, but this is what Ghostrick wants to happen. They want the game to play longer. How can you OTK your opponent with just 200, 300, 400 attacks? I like the idea of this deck personally. Overall the deck is fun and annoying at the same time. So that's it, I hope you enjoy this video, and if you like it don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, see you next time.